John B. Watson was a pioneering psychologist who played an important role in developing behaviorism. Watson believed that psychology should primarily be scientific observable behavior. He is remembered for his research on the conditioning process. J. B. Watson is the father of behavioral psychology. Behavioral psychology, or behaviorism, is a theory suggesting that environment shapes human behavior. Behavioral psychology is the study and analysis of observable behavior. Watson is also known for Little Albert experiment. He is one of the most influential psychologists of 20th century. John B. Watson was born January 9, 1878, and grew up in South Carolina. He entered Furman University at the age of 16. After graduating 5 years later with a master's degree, he began studying psychology at the University of Chicago, earning his Ph.D. in psychology in 1903. Watson began teaching psychology at Johns Hopkins University in 1908. In 1913, he gave a seminal lecture at Columbia University, titled Psychology as the Behaviorist Views It, which is marked as beginning of behaviorism. According to Watson, psychology is the science of observable behavior. He rejected the idea of introspection, that it was impossible to think about consciousness in a scientific way. The only reliable material for scientific analysis was the observable facts of behavior. With a 1924 publication, John B. Watson devised methodological behaviorism, which sought to understand behavior by only measuring observable behaviors and events. Watson remained at Johns Hopkins University until 1920. He had an affair with Rayner, divorced his first wife, and was then asked by the university to resign his position. Watson later married Rayner and the two remained together until her death in 1935. After leaving his academic position, Watson began working for an advertising agency where he stayed until he retired in 1945. During the latter part of his life, Watson's already poor relationships with his children grew progressively worse. He spent his last years living a reclusive life on a farm in Connecticut. Shortly before his death on September 25, 1958, he burned many of his unpublished personal papers and letters. Contributions to psychology. Watson set the stage for behaviorism, which soon rose to dominate psychology. While behaviorism began to lose its hold after 1950, many of the concepts and principles are still widely used today. Conditioning and behavior modification are still widely used in therapy and behavioral training to help clients change problematic behaviors and develop new skills. Watson's lifetime achievements, publications, and awards include: 1915. Served as the president of the American Psychological Association. 1919 published Psychology from the Standpoint of a Behaviorist. 1925 published Behaviorism. 1928 published Psychological Care of Infant and Child. 1957 received the APA's Award for Distinguished Scientific Contributions. Watson is famous for his saying that "give me anyone, and I can make them into anything." Watson's quote suggests, strict behaviorists believe that any person could potentially be trained to perform any task, regardless of things like genetic background, personality traits, and internal thoughts by the process of conditioning.